son, since you haven't learned to respect your elders, it's time you learn to respect your betters.
Interesting facts about famous people.
End of an era, westerns. Almost a subgenre of westerns is the time period around the turn of the 19th to 20th century, the end of the traditional frontier western, making way for the modern era. Some filmmakers picked up on this and used it as a theme in their westerns, a melancholy for the past and uncertainty of the future. Many in that time struggled with the changing times, new technology, and greater changes in society. It was a new world. If you enjoyed this video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. If you want to check out my many other videos, head over to my channel. The link is in the description. Please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel as well. I appreciate it. Let's get into it in no particular order. The Shootist, 1976. John Brooks, John Wayne, an aging gunfighter, sees a doctor he knows for a second opinion after a doctor told him he has terminal cancer. The doctor, James Stewart, confirms the diagnosis. He tells Brooks he has a month, maybe 2 left. Brooks takes a room in the boarding house. The son of the woman who runs it recognizes him and tells his mother who he is. She doesn't like his kind, but when he tells her of his condition, she empathizes. Her son, Ron Howard, wants him to teach him how to use a gun. Brooks tells him that killing is not something he wants to live with. Brooks, not wanting to go through the agony of dying from cancer, seeks a quicker way to go. We all know now that this was Wayne's last western, the end of an era indeed. The Wild Bunch, 1969. In 1913 Texas, Pike Bishop, the leader of a gang of aging outlaws, seeks to retire after a final robbery of silver from a railroad payroll office. An epic revisionist western film, directed by Sam Peckinpah, starring William Holden, Ernest Borgnine, Robert Ryan, Edmund O'Brien, Ben Johnson, and Warren Oates. The plot concerns an aging outlaw gang on the Mexico-United States border, trying to adapt to the changing modern world, as the traditional American West is disappearing around them. The film was controversial because of its graphic violence and its portrayal of crude men attempting to survive by any available means. Death Hunt, 1981. 1931 Canada, so technically a northern, not a western. Yukon trapper Johnson has a feud with a dog owner who later retaliates by publicly accusing Johnson of murder and thus triggering a police manhunt in the wilderness. Directed by Peter Hunt, starring Charles Bronson, Lee Marvin, Angie Dickinson, Carl Weathers, Maury Chaikin, Ed Lauter, and Andrew Stevens. A fictionalized account of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police pursuit of a man named Albert Johnson.
And the will to be free.
Pure fact is, if I was in his boots.
Face each other as enemies and triumph as heroes along the last frontier.
There he is!
Monty Walsh, 1972. An aging cowboy, Lee Marvin, faces the ending days of the Wild West era, as barbed wire and railways steadily eliminate the need for the cowboy. Monty and his friends are left with fewer and fewer options. New work opportunities are available to them, but what they long for is the freedom of the open prairie. Eventually, they all must say goodbye to the lives they knew and try to make a new start.
Well, there's a hell of a lot fewer now.
I wonder how you would wrestle those. We did it!
Monty Walsh, 2003. Wyoming, 1892. Tom Selleck. Monty's been a cowboy for ranchers all his life, but he's no longer young and big business is taking over the ranches. Monty Walsh and Chet Rollins are longtime cowhands, working whatever ranch work comes their way, but nothing they can't do from a horse. Their lives are divided between months on the range and the occasional trip into town. Monty has a long-term relationship with prostitute Martine Bernard, while Chet has fallen under the spell of the widow who owns the hardware store. Camaraderie and competition with the other cowboys fill their days, until one of the hands, Shorty Austin, loses his job and gets involved in rustling and killing, when Monty and Chet find that their lives on the range are inextricably redirected. Big Jake, 1971. McCandless Ranch is run over by a gang of cutthroats led by the evil John Fane, Richard Boone. They kidnap little Jacob McCandless and hold him for $1 million ransom. There is only one man brave enough, tough enough, and smart enough to bring him back alive, and that man is Big Jake, John Wayne.
Now you understand. Anything goes wrong, anything at all. Your fault, my fault, nobody's fault.
Buffalo Bill, 1976. Buffalo Bill and the Indians, or Sitting Bull's History Lesson, is a revisionist Western film directed by Robert Altman and based on the 1968 play Indians by Arthur Coppett. It stars Paul Newman as William F. Cody, alias Buffalo Bill, along with Geraldine Chaplin, Will Sampson, Joel Grey, Harvey Keitel, and Burt Lancaster as Bill's biographer, Ned Buntline. As in his earlier film, MASH, Altman skewers the American historical myth of heroism. In this case, the notion that noble white men fighting bloodthirsty savages won the West. However, the film was poorly received at the time of its release, as the country was celebrating its bicentennial.
On this great nation, unless it comes up again in the morning.
The Grey Fox, 1982. Old West highwayman Bill Miner, known to Pinkertons as the Gentleman Bandit, is released in 1901 after 33 years in prison. A genial and charming old man. He goes to Washington to live and work with his sister's family, but the world has changed much while he has been away, and he just can't adjust. So he goes to Canada and returns to the only thing familiar to him, robbery, with stagecoaches changed to trains.
Are you indeed?
The Professionals, 1966. A rich Texan, J.W. Grant, selects 3 men and invites them to his private train to offer them a contract: rescue his wife, who has been kidnapped by a Mexican revolutionary. The leader of the men, Rico, decides they would be a better team if Grant would hire one more man, an explosives expert. Grant quickly agrees, and soon the 4 are off to complete the contract. However, while on the trail, they discover some interesting facts, like has Mrs. Grant really been kidnapped?
Raza. Captain Jesus Raza. Jesus. What a name for the bloodiest cutthroat in Mexico.
That's a lot of woman there. Beautiful, classy, and guts.
Go to hell.
Yes, ma'am. I'm on my way.
Duck You Sucker, 1971, aka A Fistful of Dynamite. Packed with dynamite, Irish rebel and explosives expert John H. Mallory, James Coburn, finds himself in revolution-torn 1913 Mexico, riding a V-twin Indian motorcycle, crosses paths with a short-fused Mexican bandit, Juan Miranda, and his gun-toting outlaws. Before long, his expertise in explosives becomes evident. Bent on putting Mallory's skills to good use, Devious Juan forms an uneasy partnership with John to rob the impregnable Mesa Verde National Bank. Instead, what seems like an unmissable opportunity to get rich becomes a trap, enmeshing the unlikely duo in the revolution, having no other choice but to fight together with the troops of Pancho Villa and Emiliano Zapata against the evil Colonel Gunter Reza. Can John's dynamite get them out of the tight spot?
pulling from a whorehouse. Agreed.
Let's go. Johnson, we've got a bad situation. I have a bunch of savages out here.
Do you have any idea how many Callahan there were in this country, Ted?
But it gets to be a cowboy forever, money.
Own some dove.
I ain't doing nothing with
Your
you.
elders. It's time you learn to respect your betters.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate your likes and subscribers. Hit the notification button to get my new videos. Take a look at my channel and check out my Facebook page. The links are in the description. I am Wrangler. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.